Hello and welcome to A Study in Chaos. My name is Kat, and I publish under the pen name Cat Leo. I also do things on the internet at KatsChaosCafe. Today's episode of the podcast is going to be like a quick review of June, and then going to be going over my goals and some plan-ish things I'm hoping to achieve in July of 2025. Because I'm recording this on the 20th, so June isn't actually done, but the end of June is just so busy, and I'm going to be out of it. So we'll talk about that in the recap. So recap. Um, June wasn't that productive of a month for me on the original writing front. That does not mean that I didn't do writing. Um, I did probably write about 10,000 words. It's just, it wasn't in Briar's Hollow or Blood Rain. It was in fan fiction. And that is 100% okay because fan fiction is a form of self care for me. So I am not upset at all that I did that. And it's just, I've been doing so much stuff this month. And so much has happened this month. So there was a minor health scare with my stepdad. He's fine. He had to go to the doctor. He needs to watch his blood pressure. He's gonna get fitted with a monitor for his heart, but he's mostly fine. So it's fine. Um, but that same week, like that happened on like Tuesday, and then I talked about this in a previous episode. How Giz, our piggy boy, passed away, and how I'm grieving. So the last episode before this one that I'm recording now talked about grief, and the one before that was like the mid-June check-in, where I explained that we lost our piggy boy. Hi, buddy. Um, so the spiral of grief and stories from my life is like the episode before this one that talks about grief and how I personally have experienced grief, how I've worked with my grief and worked through my grief. And the one before that is all of my spoons are in the dishwasher. Because you know what? All of my spoons are probably in the dishwasher at this point. Just because I'm have been doing a lot of things. I worked more hours, especially at the beginning of the month, at my day job. And then also the AuthorTube Writing Conference is at the end of June. It is June 27th through the 29th, and I volunteer with the AWC. And the specific thing I do is I'm one of the co-volunteer coordinators, and that position is significantly busier in at the end of May and throughout June. Um, so all of my spoons have been going towards these things, so it's no surprise, like towards more work hours plus health family things. Also at the end of the month, I right before the AWC, I do my injection, so I have basically until the 24th to get goals done because on the 25th I have to do an injection, which is gonna knock me on my butt as it does. But I'm like, it's 1 to 2 days that I'm on, like, just knocked out with really bad fatigue. But I get the rest of that 8 weeks, and I'm mostly fine, unless I get like actual other, like a cold or something. So June is a very busy month. Also, it's my dad's birthday this month. I have to do my injection on his birthday, so I was like, "Happy birthday, Dad! I'm gonna be unconscious." We're on the 24th. I will have had Hephaestus for a year. The kitty boy will have been here a year. He's still growing through growth spurts, guys. He turned 1 last month. Him and Sassy did so. That's like, there's the June recap. Now, onto goals and things. So we're gonna talk about my writing goals and stuff. So by the way, I had really I had notes for that recap, so I didn't forget things, and I still probably forgot things. But now we're gonna So we're going to talk about writing goals and such, and then so that's going to be original and fan fiction things related, and then we're also going to be talking about the podcast, Studying Chaos, as well. But we're going to do writing first. So I really want to finish draft one of Briar's Hollow and the Archive, which Briar's Hollow and the Archive is the first novella of the Briar's Hollow series. My plan is that it's actually Briar's Hollow is going to be made up of novellas that take place over a couple of days. So the whole, like, there might be little jumps in time possibly between novellas or not, but it's like mini mystery series. I'm not gonna lie, this is like my brain's version of like Nancy Drew, but like consecutively, chronologically, like there's an overarching thing. So like I don't think I've ever said that out loud. So Briar's Hollow, I want to finish draft one of the novella. I had originally wanted to finish this in June, but June was just exhausting. June was exhausting in so many levels. So I didn't finish it. I oh, as of today, when I'm recording this, I should say, because it's only 3:20 my time, so it's 3:20 in the afternoon. I still have a couple of days. Who knows? I could spontaneously draft 2 to 4 chapters because I think there's only like 2 to 4 chapters left in Briar's Hollow in the Archive. I'm not 100% sure on that one. We'll see what happens. But by the end of June, by the end of July, I would like to finish draft one of Briar's Hollow in the Archive. And then, of course, I have multiple original projects that I'm working on. I do want to add any words to Blood Rain. I don't think I've touched Blood Rain in a month or two. And don't get me, I haven't touched the document. I have done like some work on like the world building, but not in the actual text, but in like my notes and stuff for the world building because it's an expansive world. Both, I don't make small universes. I don't make small things. I have a full expansive. If you hear Buddy, I'm so sorry. I have a full expansive universe. So Blood Rain, chronologically speaking, takes place almost a decade before, um, before Whispers of Tomorrow, which is book one in Shadow. And I have discussed this before on my streams and videos, and here I think I've mentioned it here on the podcast that I do have some regrets with publishing Whispers of Tomorrow when I did, because some things I'm going to need to alter or change based on what I'm going to write into Blood Rain, which Blood Rain is going to be a trilogy, and then after Blood Rain there is Uncommon Royals. So both of these, like, and Uncommon Royals is going to be a duology. So I want to actually write Blood Rain first and then Uncommon Royals, just because that will define some of the stuff for these stories, will define some of this system and how magic in the world works and the supernatural community works in Shadow. So I honestly, I will probably end up completely rewriting in some aspects Whispers of Tomorrow before I continue the Shadow series. But I do want to get words in Blood Rain. I love this world. I will not abandon it. It's just, making sure the world building is consistent, and that I know the foundational truths of the world. So, in the world, there are. Dear God, buddy, chill. He's upstairs just barking away. In Blood Rain, no one except a very small amount of people know the truth of the origin of vampires. No one knows the origin of such and such. Um, but I, as the creator, with main characters that are vampires, kind of need to know what is the foundational truths of the species and the world and how magic works and stuff like that. So, some of my focus for Blood Rain hasn't been in the actual text of drafting the book. It's been in the construction of some of the world building because I already know that it is so expansive. Because I plan for Blood Rain to be a trilogy. Hopefully, it'll only be that long. Hmm. But my brain is rude, so maybe it'll go farther. Uncommon Royals is a duology, is how I intend for it to be. And then Shadow is going to have at least 7 books, possibly also short stories or novellas interspersed throughout it as well. So, my Shadowverse is not small. Shadowverse is expansive. And it's all out of my brain, okay? So sometimes I take longer to work on it because like aspects of the world and the truths in that world are in the back of my brain, just brewing away like a cauldron, like creating a potion very slowly over time. Or the meticulous mathematics and things that go into this construction went into the construction of like the pyramids. Like I don't these will never be a great wonder. I do not believe that personally because I write for me and I'm a very weird person. But I want the world to be fleshed out and to feel consistent. So I want to do that world building. And yes, I know there's an issue that people have where they get too into their world building. Judge me, I don't care. It's fine. So, I want to finish Briar's Hollow, book 1 or novella 1, because once I edit it, who knows how long it's gonna be. And then Blood Rain, I want to actually get any words into it that I can, because I think I'm only on like chapter 5 of the new version of it, which is like 3 perspectives. Because I had a previous version of it which only followed Dinah, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but then I was like, actually, I really want to have the 3 different perspectives and stuff like that. If you guys want, I can actually do a further deep dive. I think I have a video about that. But I've also added to the world building. So there's that. Also, in July is my fanfic anniversary. I published my first fanfic on July 12th of 2012. I was 14 years old. I don't know if I'm going to do anything special for that. Cuz I'm probably going to work that day. Maybe like the week after or something. One of my Tuesday episode will be like, oh, also we're gonna talk about some changes I'm making to the podcast here. But I might do something special. If you have suggestions, please feel free to share them. I do know that I do want to allow myself to focus some more on some fanfic because my original plan before the chaos of this month, I was actually thinking I was going to take a break from my original works in July and just let myself focus on my fanfic. Basically, like a full month self care in a way. Because I have several fanfics. So, if y'all are interested, I could talk about the various fanfics I have, fandom addict stuff, and we can do that. Sounds like I would enjoy doing that. And then, now let's talk. So we've talked writing goals. Now let's talk about studying chaos. You know, this whole thing I'm doing right here. I didn't go in have it with a plan. I was like, in a dream world, I'd be like a Monday through Friday podcast episodes. But this last month has taught me I'm a little overzealous there. And maybe sometimes I will have the ideas and the content to do that, but I don't think that's realistic for me and my amount of spoons that I have in this world. Okay. Um, if you don't know what spoons are and what spooning life is and chronic illness stuff like that, it's managing your levels of energy and dedicating like I only have 4 spoons today because like I don't have a lot of energy today because like something's acting up. But I need to go to work, so the majority of my spoons would go towards work. They wouldn't go towards my creative work. So they'd go to my day job and not my creativity. So it's like energy management type stuff. But studying chaos, I do enjoy doing it. Um, I wanted to do like episodes Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. That's no longer gonna happen. We're gonna give it a trial run with just 2 episodes a week because all I gotta focus on is 2 episodes a week, and I can batch record things, guys. I can batch record this shit. It'll be great. We'll see what happens though. So Tuesdays. So I'm gonna have episodes out on Tuesdays and episodes out on Fridays. So Tuesdays are gonna be Chaos Tuesdays. That they can be anything. They're just straight up they're the rambles, they're the rants, they're the writing updates, everything like that. You get me being chaotic on Tuesdays. On Fridays, you're gonna get Fandom Fridays, and Fandom Fridays is there's a little bit to it. So let's talk further about the Chaos Tuesdays first. Just keep it in order. I made a PowerPoint so that there's visuals for the YouTube side of things, and then also like so I have notes to keep me on track. So Chaos Tuesdays. They're the fresh from the cafe life rambles and reality check-ins. Stuff like that. Or maybe deep dives into like a random subject I'm researching. Might be that. Um Currently, I don't know if a study in chaos is going to be where I put my classics chaos. So if you don't know what classics chaos is, I've talked about it on my streams on my YouTube channel before. It is so I got a degree in classics, so my emphasis was classical studies. So I mainly looked at the myths and the histories and texts. I didn't do a lot of like archaeological work. I did some, but it was mainly the visuals that went with the mythos, the myths of Greek myth, Roman myth, stuff like that. So I don't know if that's going to become part of this podcast, or who knows, that might become its own entity. So, but potentially those conversations might have like something happen here on Studying Chaos. Maybe once a month I'll have like a classics chaos day, like once a month. We'll see. Um, So, Chaos Tuesdays are, me being your local chaotic entity that's figuring shit out. So, you're going to get episodes like this. You're going to get me being a chaotic gremlin about, like, my hyperfixations of the week, or what I'm researching for my writing, or, I don't know, random things about dogs. Because my sister's looking into getting a golden doodle, or she did. So puppies. Puppies are a thing. I'll talk about my cats, stuff like that. You get the chaotic rambles of my brain. Whereas Fandom Fridays are a little bit different. They aren't 100% structured, but they're a little bit more fandom-y. Because, I got my writing started in fan fiction, so of course I'm going to talk about fan fiction on those days. Yeah. But also, so you'll get like my fanfic tangents, ship talk, what if wonderings, me talking about fanfics I've written. Maybe I'll talk about things I've read. I don't know. But I'm gonna be talking about shows, movies, books, fandoms too. And to kick it off, we're gonna be looking at a specific thing. So what we're gonna do, so I have a separate like little thumbnail for when I do a study in chaos like Fandom Fridays little thingy. So there might be a different little thumbnail on these episodes. It's gonna be like my normal one, but instead of like the swirly background with my face and the words, it's gonna look like it's a tape, camera film. That's what it is. It's camera film. So it's gonna look like that. But you're like, Kat, what's the first thing we're gonna talk about? Leverage. July, we're gonna talk about leverage. Season 1. So all of the Fandom Friday episodes in July are going to be about leverage. Either talking about one or more episodes of Leverage. I own the Leverage DVDs, all 5 seasons of the original series, and I love them. The executive producers, the writers, the directors, and later seasons they got the actors on it. They did a commentary on every single episode. Okay, this is my comfort. Okay, this is what I do for fun. Is I listen and watch Leverage commentaries while I crochet. Okay. Uh, One of my characters actually, I named my guinea pig after Parker from Leverage because my guinea pig has a bandit mask. like a burglar, like a cat burglar, and Parker's a thief. So my guinea pig's name is Parker Bandit. I have named several like original characters in fan. I've named a original character in a fanfic after Parker. I um have a character in one of my books in Blood Rain. There is a Parker in that named after Parker. Okay, like I love Leverage. Don't think y'all know this. You definitely know now. Um, so I need to figure out the actual plan for the breakdown of how I'm gonna do these episodes. Um, it might expand past July in all honesty, depending on like when I'm recording the actual episodes for the podcast here. It depends on how long I talk about like one episode. Because if I'm spending 20 plus minutes talking about one episode, I really shouldn't have a combination of two episodes. Uh, commentary or review. I guess like cats going to the movies. Okay, we're watching TV together, and you as the audience can also watch Leverage for free. It's on YouTube. The Electric Now YouTube channel has the entirety of Leverage, the original series, as well as has been adding Leverage Redemption to their YouTube channel as well. So, yeah, I will definitely provide you guys with a link to that. And to the playlist for season one in the description / show notes for today's episode, so that if you want to, you can also watch Leverage and hear my commentary on it afterwards. Because I have watched, I don't know how many times. I really don't know at this point, between Leverage with commentaries on and Leverage just in general, between watching it on the YouTube channel as well as on the DVDs. I also watched it on Prime. I've watched. What is Buddy doing? Oh my god, he's having a moment. What did he see? I'll be right back. I checked on that. I don't know. He's having a moment, y'all. Okay. So Leverage, you can watch the entirety, the first 5 seasons of the original version of Leverage. You can watch that on the Electric Now YouTube channel. I will share that in the show notes, but the YouTube channel as well as the playlist for season one. So I don't know. My initial plan was I was like, I'll do like 2 episodes because I was gonna do it on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. But then after this month, I was like, I should just pick 2 days a week and go with it. So yeah, so that's a thing. Um, so the chaos is strong lately. Um, and I hope y'all have been enjoying the chaos from me. Um, depending on where you're watching this, so you if you have the video component, let me know what you thought of it. Because I'm not sure. Because yeah, we'll see what happens. What chaos have you been committing today? Have a great rest of your day. Bye.